Eric Bergstrom here with Zak Giese of the Menominee Maroons. Zach, thanks so much for joining me today.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
So you missed the Gladstone game with an injury. What is the injury and how'd you get injured? Do you think you'll be back for the Kingsford game?
Yes, the injury was just mid-foot sprain. Nothing too bad. I was just going out for a flare route, and I caught the ball, and I was fighting for extra yards, and I kind of got pulled down from behind weird, and it just sprained my midfoot. I tried to walk it off and keep playing stuff, and it slowly got kind of worse and worse, but I just rested. They wanted me just to rest up and make sure everything was really good because it was more precautionary because it was just so early in the season that there's no point in pushing anything. And plus, we had the Kingsford game coming up, so they wanted me to make sure that I was full go for Kingsford. But I definitely do think I'll be ready to go for Kingsford. I'm healing up and I'm doing great.
That's good to hear. Like you said, you have Kingsford this week at home, and they're usually a very tough team. What do you think makes them so tough?
It makes them so tough. They're a hard-hitting team, and they just go after it, and they play together pretty good. And I always love playing them. I always love the challenge because they always have good linebackers. And it's always usually me and them, going after each other. It's just who wins, play after play. I know every play they're coming after us, and that's why I love those kind of games. So I'm looking forward to it.
What makes your team want to work so hard in the off season when some other teams may not?
What makes us want to work so hard? I think it's because of the environment we set. Just from the community support, it makes you want to go work hard and better yourself because you know the expectations going in the season. Like, last year, semifinals before that, and just going that level, you want to better yourself because you know that the season's going to be tough, and you know that the expectations that people have on you and you have on yourself, it makes you just want to go hard, and because you know it's going to be worth it. Also, another great thing about the team workouts this summer is that the Maroon moms are supporting us and making us breakfast and stuff like that, and I always look forward to breakfast after a nice hard workout.
How great is that?
It's pretty great. And you're just hungry, you get chocolate milk and eggs. It's awesome. And I like to send special shout out to them for always going there day after day, make us breakfast, early in the morning. I just think it's really special of them to do that for us.
I'd get up and do that too if they were doing that for me.
Definitely.
For sure. Talk about, you just mentioned the semifinal game, and that's one thing I did want to mention. I remember that first touchdown. Talk to me about that. You scored the first touchdown in that game, and it was amazing. The crowd was going crazy.
Oh, I felt pretty good. I just, got the handoff, and I saw the hole there, made a nice cut off of some great blocks, and just it was stiff arm one guy, and just cut to the corner of the end zone and score. And, that whole week I was really fired up for that game, because when I got moved up my sophomore year, I was watching the team, play them and stuff, and how I just wanted to play really bad. And I just, it burned me just seeing us like that. And I've been waiting for my chance against them, to compete against them, because they're a great team. And I've been waiting for that moment, and I was mentally preparing myself and physically preparing myself in practice. And when that game came, I just felt ready to compete. And scoring that touchdown was awesome because I think it was a big moment saying the whole, our team saying, yeah, we can win this, we're in this. And the crowd going awesome, the crowd going crazy was just awesome because seeing everybody there, seeing all the support we had from the community and from our parents was just awesome, and from our school. And it was just I'll remember that for forever, it was awesome.
Menominee football has one of the loudest, most vocal student sections around. What does the student section mean to you and your team?
It means a lot to us, because the stuff's getting tough, and we're going to have to fight, and to hear them cheer for us, and it gives us a little bit extra, helps us dig deep, and know that our community supports us, our student section has us, our parents have us, and it just allows us to, push harder because we know that everyone has our back, and it just gets us all riled up, and I just love hearing the student section.
What's your favorite thing about playing high school football?
Honestly, the kid, after scoring a touchdown or we're up by a lot, there's a bunch of kids by the playground. I always love giving them high fives after a touchdown. And when we're up by a lot, I love talking to them when I can. I know a lot of the kids from working at the DAR.
That's
and
great.
I just love how the kids do me as a role model, and I try and be the best role model I can for them. And I just love giving them high fives and talking to them, and they always want to see my gloves or, they all talk about, the touchdown. I just love talking to them and just being that for them and just showing them that what like a hardworking athlete is about, and I just love doing that. And I love going around town and just seeing little kids like want to talk to me, or just because they just look up to me. I just love that.
You are the superstars of Menominee. In a way, you're their NFL players, and they can actually see you and talk to you and things like that, where like NFL players, they're so far away they can't. So it's really cool that you give them that time, because I know it means a lot to those kids.
Yeah, I'm going to go down to Blash. I got invited to go down to Blash to talk to the kids about anti-bullying and what it means to be a good role model and a Maroon athlete. And I'm really excited to go down there and talk to everybody about that. And it should be a great opportunity to see all the kids and everything. And I just love the kids. I loved working at the DAR, and I thought it was an awesome place for me to show kids what it means to be a good role model, and just about hard work and about being respectful and what it is to be a Maroon athlete. I just loved it.
That's great. Who has the best nickname on your team, do you think?
Best nickname would have to be Tanner Mathias.
What's his nickname?
We call him Bear Claw. Coach started calling him Bear Claw, and then he dropped the pass in practice, and we started calling him Kitty Claw. So that drove him just crazy, just going from Bear Claw to Kitty Claw, Kitty Cat Claw. And
I'm sure now he's got to work hard to get that Bear Claw back, right?
Oh, yeah, he's working hard right now for that Bear Claw title back. But, he never really lost the title. It's just a little joke we always do, like, for instance, everyone always called me, like, Gizmo, Giesenheimer, stuff like that, Coach did. And,
right.
And I got the boot on, and all of a sudden they all started calling me Bootsy, And I'm like, oh, are you calling me Bootsy? Like, this is rough. They called me Crutches and Walking Wounded. And
oh, boy.
So I'm really excited to get back on the field and start paying back for what they've been calling me, Bootsy and stuff. So
that's great.
They would never call me Bootsy if I didn't have the crutches on, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Who do you think is the toughest guy on your team?
Toughest guy on my team?
Is it you?
That's pretty hard to say.
Probably a lot, right?
Yeah, a lot of tough guys, but
I'm sure you're in
there. Tough guys I love going up against is probably Drew Baxter. Me and him been going against each other ever since 8th grade. Just being the fullback. 6'6", and he's way over the middle, and it was always a clash. Just who would win that day? Because it'd be 6'6", I'd go after him.
Right.
I'd put a stiff arm on him. Or the next play, I'd try and block him, and he'd get off my block, and it was just always me and him. Me and him are pretty good friends, and I love it. Because me and him would get really intense and really competitive with each other, because we always are trying to have to beat each other, and for that play. They always go back and forth, and he's a tough guy. In practice, I always love looking forward to competing against him in practice. And another pretty tough guy I'd have to say is Peyton Molesky. He always is going after it. I always know him the sweep and everything that him an outside linebacker. I always have to look for him. And just going against those two great guys, those two competitive guys, definitely made me a better player. And I just love competing against all those guys in practice.
Last year, like we talked about, you had a lot of experience playing on, in big games last year. With all that experience, do you feel like a leader this year? And if so, what responsibilities come along with that?
I definitely feel like a leader. I'm still trying to become a better leader, and just, I've been with this team for a long time, with this group of guys, and I know them really well, and I know what buttons we have to push to get to where. And the responsibilities of that would probably have to become being mentally prepared and performing at the games, and just being a good leader and a role model for them, and just showing them about how, what to be as a person, and just how you treat people in the locker room and how you treat people on the field, and just being caring for everybody. I'm just caring for all of them and how they're doing, and just trying to motivate them. The team knows I'm a very great motivator, and I'm there for anyone on the team. I'm that kind of guy that if anyone ever needed a ride home, I'd give them a ride home, or anybody ever need anything, I would drop anything and give them whatever they needed.
That's great. What do your coaches mean to you and your teammates?
What the coaches mean to us, they're all great role models for us, and they come to practice every day with all this energy, enthusiasm to get better as a team, and And I think that means a lot, coming every day. We always know that we need to come out, practice, and work hard, and be the best we can be, because if we don't, we know the coach is going to be right behind us, and we always know the coaches are going to be right there, trying to push us. So every practice is almost game day for us because we're working hard, and the coaches are there pushing us to be the best. And I think that's just a really awesome thing, how they bring their energy to practice every day.
What kind of home field advantage do you think Walton Blesh Field is?
Home field advantage of Walton Blesh. You just go there and you just get this feel of Walton Blesh, of all its tradition, and you just think of all the great players. I think of all the great players before me that wore my number, that played my position and played on this field, and it just makes me realize, like, this is a great tradition here we have in Menominee, and that we need to win tomorrow. We need to win for our community. We need to win for each other. And it's just, when you're there, it just feels like home. It's just such a historic place, and it's just an awesome thing to have. I love playing there.
Definitely right. It definitely has the history, and you can feel it, like you said, as soon as you walk in. And a lot of high schools don't have that, so it's something everybody in the community and the players as well, appreciate and should appreciate as well. Not only are you a great football player, but you're a great hockey player as well. When did you start playing hockey?
I started playing hockey about 4th, 5th grade. I remember I loved going to open skate at the Civic Center, and my mom got me hockey skates, and my friend Travis, he just said, hey, you should try playing hockey. So I tried it out, and, I was an okay skater and everything, but I don't know, something about getting in front of a puck and just stopping a puck I just love. Even I just had skater gear, and I'd always try to be in front of the net stopping the puck. And before you know it, I got a chance to put on goalie pads and everything. And I remember being in the locker room, and Coach asked who wanted to be the goalie this year, and I looked around and didn't really see anyone else raise their hand, so I said, might as well give it a try. And it was pretty rough. They were going out there, and I didn't put the gear on right. I was tripping over myself, and I was a lefty, but I had right-handed gear on. And it was just, I put the leg pads on the wrong legs, but it was awesome because everyone was trying to help me out, and everyone was donating equipment for me to try out, and I just loved it. And it was a position where I never met like a goalie that wasn't a hard worker that could be good. I mean, being a goaltender is a lot of hard work. I mean, so many shots I faced, all these reps I had to take to get better, and I just loved it. I just loved being in a position of high intensity, high pressure, because when you're a goalie, I mean, you can't a goalie cannot take a play off, because if you do,
exactly,
it's a goal. You know what I mean? Like there's no goalie that you can go just 90%. There's no goalie that can just go 50% and be great or be good, because they score on you. And I don't know, I just started playing it, and I just started getting better at it. I got better at it really fast, and it became really natural, and I just loved it. I love, because being a goalie, you're automatically a team leader. Like, you just have to be. You have to communicate with the guys. You have to see the whole ice. You have to lead your defenseman out, and that just taught me at a young age the leadership skills I needed to succeed. And, it's just the truth. If I wasn't on my game, every game we played, out of the 60 or 50 games we play a season, we were not going to win games. It's just how it is. If you're facing 20 shots a game and you don't try in every one, and if 1/4 of them goes in, you lose the game.
It's a lot of pressure.
It just taught me, just a lot of pressure. It just taught me how to deal with high-pressure situations. So when I was playing with Catholic, when I was playing in the playoffs, it just, I'm just used to that pressure, and I thrive off of it. I perform actually better in high-pressure situations than I do than just against an okay team, because I know the expectations. I know what I need to do to win, and I just loved it. I love that position in goalie, and I just love the hard work that came with it. You ask any of my hockey coaches, most of my coaches, and they'll tell you that I'm the hardest working kid they've ever seen, and that's what I play off of. So when I get to the high-pressure games, it's nothing to me, because I've already played that game in practice with that intensity.
That's right, and it takes a special kind of person to want that kind of pressure too, I know a lot when you listen to the NHL, they always say that to be a goalie, those goalies are always crazy. Well, that's probably the crazy they're talking about, is to want to thrive off that kind of pressure, and to have that kind of pressure, like you said, where if you take a play off, it's a goal. And we all know in hockey, one goal is huge. So it really does take a special kind of person to want to be a goaltender and then also to thrive in it. Hockey takes a big commitment from your family. Your family must be very supportive.
Oh, yeah. My mom and my father definitely supportive, driving me to the games and going with me. And I always have, like, a routine I got to do before games, and everything kind of has to be a certain way. And that's the kind of crazy people talk about goalies, how they always have that same certain way, just crazy traditions and rituals and stuff. Mine isn't very crazy, but yeah, just the support from my family, my brother, my sister. I tag along on the trips, along car rides, and I just love it. I just love seeing my family up in the stands supporting me, and I just love the other fans and the other families that tag up along, and it's a really special. Last year in hockey we had a really special team, and everyone really got along, and it was awesome.
What's the hardest shot you've ever taken? Is there one that sticks out?
Hardest shot I've ever taken. Well, I remember when I was a bantam, so it was about 7th grade, and Luke Krause, he definitely had the hardest shot I ever faced. It was when we were younger. He had a really hard shot, but he couldn't really control it yet. So he'd be hitting me in the helmet in practice about 3 times a practice, and it drove me crazy because I knew it was going to happen. Like every practice, it was, and then there were slap shots too. And he never. I don't know. He says he never meant to do it, but I don't really know because I don't know how you don't mean to do it 3 times in practice. But I love Luke. He's an awesome guy, and he was an awesome captain for us last year. But I always remember that I always went through cages pretty quick on my helmet because I'd always get a dent in it, and it always looked weird, and I always had to get a new one. And it was awesome. It made you pretty fearless after a while, getting hit in a helmet 3-4 times a practice from a slap shot like that guy. But it was awesome seeing his shot and everything go from this crazy wild and to seeing him being able to control better and having a really good shot. And that was probably one of the craziest shots I ever had was Luke.
I know his dad, actually, Paul. I've done a couple games with him, so I know who he is.
Yeah, Paul. I love Paul. Yeah. And he gets that shot from his dad because his dad was always helping us and teaching everyone how to shoot and everything. And his dad, too, he could always, when I played men's league, he'd always pick these little corners on me. And he'd always have this. He wasn't really allowed to do slap shots above the waist in hockey, and I would just love it when you always see a similarity between his shot and Luke's, and it was awesome to play against those guys.
What's your favorite hockey team?
I don't really have a favorite hockey team. I have a bunch of favorite goalies I like to follow, like Henrik Lundqvist, Carey Price is my favorite, so I don't really have a favorite team. I have favorite players, and I love following Carey Price, Tuukka Rask, and all those guys.
Nice. Have you been to an NHL game yet?
No, I have not.
You have not?
No, I haven't. I really want to.
You would love it. I've been to the Red Wings games. I've been to Wild games. I've been to a lot, and there's really nothing like live hockey. That's the best.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. People, I watch it on TV, but I've seen semi-pro hockey and watch the Admirals play and stuff like that. And I just love that. But yeah, I could just imagine. I would just love to see an NHL game.
I went to Traverse City a couple of years ago to the Red Wings training camp. And it was cool. We went and we were right up against the glass, and they're in a small rink, and it was amazing how fast they were. There's no way you can even understand it unless you're there because they were so fast it would whip your head. That's how fast they were going past you. I just had no idea they skated that fast until I went there that day. What are some of the similarities you think and differences actually between playing hockey and playing football?
Playing hockey, it's just so fast-paced. The shots are coming in. I remember one guy clocked an 80-mile-an-hour slap shot in high school on my team. That was a while ago. And, it was Jacob Swenson. He had always had a fast slap shot, and that was when he was a bantam. And it was everything so fast-paced, and you have to be so aware of everybody is because you have to be aware of the guy that's in the back, back door, waiting for a one-time. You have to be aware of the guys at points. If there's guys driving the slot. You need to be so aware of where your teammates are, where the other team is, and just where you are in the net. And then in football, you have to be aware of where everybody is, where that linebacker is, where your blocks are and where the hole is. And it just helped me develop really fast, like, reflexes and be able to see with my eyes really quick on where all the holes are and where the holes aren't. And that sometimes I got to slow myself down and be more patient because I see, like, where the holes are before they're actually there. So I always got to be more patient sometimes. So I already have 2-3 moves out planned in my head by the snap of the ball or by where everybody is. Actually, just helped me develop a really good sense of where I am, and there's really good awareness of where everybody is. So I definitely think that hockey's helped with football.
Well, Zach, thanks a lot for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I had a great time, and good luck this Friday.
Thank you so much.